Hi, everybody. It's Elaine here, the Animal Reiki Lady. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Thanks for joining me. We're on to our next lesson. Our lesson today is about belief. That is one of the top three things, if not the top thing, that I would recommend when you are trying to connect with your animal who has crossed the Rainbow Bridge. So before we get started, just let me remind everybody, my name is Elaine. I'm an animal Reiki master, and I help people make deep, profound healing connections with the animals in their life. And that includes animals here sharing our home or our farm, and also animals who have crossed to the other side. I teach Reiki as a form of relaxation and stress reduction, and as a way to promote healing. And that has resulted, since I practice primarily with animals, it has resulted in me being able to connect with animals on the other side. Ever since my Lucy crossed in August of 2020, she opened a door for animals to connect, and it has not closed, and I still love it. So today's lesson is going to include a little reading. I've kind of gotten away from the readings recently, but don't worry, I have all of your names and all of your beautiful animal companions who you want to connect with. So we're going to continue that, even if it does take a little bit different form. I know that everybody wants to have a very special message from their pet. And I'm going to show you today another way that you can hear the message from your pet. Okay, so the very first thing we're going to talk about today, we're going to include a little reading for Alfie. And I don't even know what kind of animal companion Alfie was. Cat, dog, bird, not sure, but I'm going to show you how a technique that I use to make this connection that anybody can use if you just do this one thing. Believe. I keep this right here. This little stone says the word believe. I keep it right here with my memorial for all of my for all of my creatures who have passed to the other side. So many of them, because I fostered and sheltered and gave home to animals who are aging and terminally ill. And so when they cross, we might naturally be upset or grieved. We've talked about grief. We've talked about guilt. I see it as just another step in their beautiful journey. And I keep memories of them here as memories, and also as ways that I have a physical reminder of being able to connect with them. And I want to share with you that belief is one of the most important things. When we believe that we have the ability to connect with our animals, now our society, our culture has ingrained in us that we don't, that maybe special people do, that maybe there are some people who are mediums. I love to use the example of the Long Island medium. She is just so awesome. She's so amazing to watch, and the way she connects with people. And I have found this way to connect with animals just a little bit differently, though. So we all have this ability, and I want you to believe the purpose of all these exercises and lessons is to help you build that belief. And every little thing, if you just try every day, do one little thing that can help you connect until that day that you really feel the connection with your animal. So when our animals cross, I'm trying to change the narrative around the word death and even die, because our animals, although they leave their physical body, they still exist. Not only that, they still want to be present in our life. As much as we want to connect with them, they want to connect with us. They are in a place now where they can help, where they can guide, where they can be our guardian angels. And we just need to understand how. How do we make that leap? How do we get to that place where we can feel them, hear them, touch them again? And there's ways that we can do this. So Alfie, this is where I'm going to come in with this. Alfie's human. Her specific words were, she's desperate to know that Alfie is okay. And if there's one message that I get time and again, other than the guilt that often surrounds our pets passing, it's the wanting to know that they have safely made it to the other side, that they are okay, that they are loved, that they're safe and secure. And isn't that what we all want to feel? We all want to feel loved and safe and secure and seen as individuals. And every single animal that I ever connect with assures me that they immediately cross. Sometimes they cross so fast they don't even realize that they've crossed until they're over there. Over there, which is not even a place, it's just a different level of existence where they don't have a physical body. They they absolutely cross into pure positive love. They are always okay. They are never not okay. And they want us to be able to know this for ourselves. So me telling you is one thing. Me sharing information that they share with me, that's a second step. But they really want to connect with you. And they want to be able to put your mind at rest, to let your heart be at ease, to continue to feel the love that you felt with them when you held them in your arms. So there's two ways that I'm going to tell you. The first, and we've explored this before, but it's one of the most important. When you believe, then you leave yourself open to receiving the signs from your animal companion, who still walks by your side, who still sits on your shoulder, hugs you, face bumps you, head bumps you, rubs up against your legs, has that certain sound, that certain habit. They still try to get in touch with us, and that's the way they do it. So keep yourself open. Leave yourself wide open, even if it's just for a day. I want you to leave yourself open for any possible sign that your animal's trying to connect with you, even if it's not one that you fully believe. I want you to write it down and start to keep track of it. The number one way that they can get in touch with us is through our physical senses. So something that we see, maybe a little shadow, something that we smell. Did they have a certain scent? Was there a scent of their favorite food? Something that we hear, that's often a way. We hear something. We'll hear their name repeatedly. We will hear a bark that all of a sudden we thought was theirs. Let your senses do the job for you, and then write down whatever it is, whether or not you believe it, whether or not you trust it. We are starting with this. So to start to believe means we start to gather some evidence. We are such an evidence-based group of human beings. We want proof. And you can start to get that proof by connecting yourself. So start to keep track of these things through your senses. Then the other way that I do this, and this is where Alfie's going to come in, and we'll see how it goes, but I use something called automatic writing. It's what I use for almost every time that I want to connect with an animal. Sometimes I don't need it. Sometimes it goes much quicker. But if I want to make a conscious connection with an animal who is no longer on this plane of existence, I use automatic writing. So I have a blank notepad here, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to demonstrate for you what I do. And I would love for you to try this too. If you feel called to try this, just try it. You have nothing to lose. Nobody needs to know that you have this book. Rip the paper out, throw it away, crinkle it up, throw it away, whatever. But I'd love for you to be able to try this and see what comes through for you. So what I might do is I would write a question at the top of my page. So I would write, did you make it to the other side safely? Were you in pain? That comes through to me. So I would write at the top of my page, did you cross safely? Are you happy? Are you here? Were you in pain? So I'm holding Alfie in my mind. Now, I don't even know what Alfie looks like. In your case, you have a pretty clear visual of what your animal companion looked like. So have a photo by you or some other, like I keep Winston. I know that this is not Winston. It's just a symbol of Winston, but I keep him by my heart. I have little paw prints and I have little clay prints and little bits of fur. So I have things that remind me of my animal companions. Now for Alfie, I don't even know what Alfie looks like, but it doesn't need to be a barrier. So you've actually got it one step easier because you know what your animal companion looks like. And don't be surprised when you start doing this, if other animals that you weren't even thinking of, like a childhood pet, if they start to pop up for you, they just want to connect with us. They want to show us how wonderful this can be to be able to connect with animals on the other side, because they can help us. They have things to share with us. They can help us solve problems. They can make our life so full of so much more joy. But anyway, so here's where I start. So I've got Alfie in my mind. I don't have a picture. I don't know what Alfie looks like, but I'm keeping Alfie close in my mind and asking him these questions. Did you cross safely? Are you happy? Are you here with me? Were you in pain when you crossed? There's some things I want to know that would help put my mind at ease. So there's my questions. Yeah, my scrawling penmanship. And then I would start to write a word. So whatever word first comes into my mind is the color orange. Orange. The word remote just pops in my mind. Remote. What? I don't even know what that's about. Remote. Play. Jump. Amen. Oh, I'm not even sure what that word. So the first words, don't judge. Don't judge. Whatever comes into your mind, write it on the paper. So I start out writing words. So this is just going to be a little sample, and we'll see if anything from Alfie actually comes through. So I start to just write a series of words. And then after the words, I might ask for a thought or a phrase or a feeling. And I just get this feeling that Alfie passed so peacefully. So I'll write that down, pass peacefully, still here, so much love. Alfie hugs you. Hugs. That comes through loud and clear, like hugs. I don't even know what kind of pet Alfie is, if he's even capable of hugging, but I get the sense of hugging. And glasses. So I start to write down the things that I get a sense of. Something to do with glasses. Did Alfie steal your glasses? Did Alfie like to look at your glasses? Did Alfie chew your glasses? I'm not 100% sure, but that's what starts to come through to me. So I start to write all those things down. Now, those things you would know, but any thoughts, feelings, emotions, anything like that, you're going to want to write down. They tell me all the time, be aware, be aware, be very aware. Alfie's going to show you something right now. Alfie has, right this very moment, as you're watching this, here's the thing about time, does not exist. Time is a human paradigm. We need it so that we can bake a good batch of chocolate chip cookies and make sure that we catch the bus on time. But otherwise, time is irrelevant. So whenever Alfie's mama is watching this, he is coming to you right now with something. He's got something in his mouth. I just see something in his mouth. I don't know if it's a sock. He's got something in his mouth. So that's what I want you to start writing down, all these things, whatever comes to you. Your imagination is real, by the way. We've been taught since we were little that it's just your imagination. Yeah, it's just your imagination. Use it. You have your imagination for a reason. There is nothing that has ever come into existence that wasn't first imagined in somebody's mind. So use your imagination, go with it, let it flow. Imagine what you might see for Alfie. Something with a beach. I've got the beach. Now, I could be mixing this up with Winston because I've got Winston coming through at the same time. Winston loves to run on the beach. When I ask him for a scene of where he is, he shows me a beach and birds, and he's running and jumping and chasing the birds. It's his ideal version of heaven. They all go there, and we all go there, and they are all multidimensional. So even if they are happily content running the beaches in heaven, they can still come to you with feelings, emotions, thoughts. Be right by your side, feeling that little whisper of their fur against your ankles, hearing them drink from the toilet like my Jack loves to do. Lean into it and believe. So let's see, what else am I going to write about Alfie? So start to write down your feelings, start to write down words, phrases, whole sentences may come to you. Sometimes I get a sense of knowing. Every once in a while, I'll get a visual. What is this visual? It's like the pi symbol that just came into my mind, only different. There's a hole in it. All right, so this symbol came to my mind. So I write that down. So maybe Alfie's mommy, not that I'm the best artist in the world, but maybe that means something. So whatever pictures come into your mind, it'll be flashes. They'll be so fast. That's why you write it down. That flash just came into my mind, and why, what it means, no idea, but I'm going to trust it and write it down. Belief and faith, that's where we go. And then other things might start to come to me. So I'm very familiar with doing this, so I get sometimes what I call blocks of thought. All of a sudden, I will have a knowing that I didn't know before. Like all of a sudden, I'll just know that Alfie was running on the beach, and I have no idea even where Alfie lives. So that could be something else that we can be justified if Alfie's mama wants to let me know if there's anything to do with the beach. And honestly, Winston had never been to a beach. He was deaf. And I got that his version of heaven is not necessarily the beach. He just loves the birds and chasing the birds. So what else might I write about Alfie? loves the wind, something about wind and breeze. So I would write those words down. Wind, breeze. The word capture comes into my mind. Not sure what that's about. Capture. And something about a hat. There's a hat coming through. I can picture like a watchman's cap. So I would write down watchman's cap. And I'm going to show you this in just a second because I want you to see it. Watchman's cap. So these are all things. So if I wanted to ask, by the way, Alfie was not in pain. Clear as a bell, no pain. And he wants me to share with you, no pain. This is a message I get so often. He wants you to know that not only was there no pain, but he left his little body before the actual, like before his body was done being biologically here. He had already gone. So there was no pain. His crossing was easy. There was nothing traumatic about it. He has no real memory about it other than knowing that at one moment maybe he was in pain towards the end. Was there something painful that going on? But then the pain was gone. Everything was gone. And he knew that he had crossed over, but he's still right by you right now. I'm getting the strongest sense. I'm not writing any of this down. Sorry, guys. I'm getting the strongest sense that he wants you right now to stop whatever you're doing and look for him. Look for him. I'm writing that down too. Look for him. Okay, so we're gonna stop for just a second, and I want to show you this. So automatic writing does not have to be where you're just writing paragraphs of information, although it can be. What I would love for you to do is to be able to write like this. You write your question across the top of the paper. You ask that question of your animal with full belief that they know you, they hear you, they're right by you, they know what you're asking, they know what you want. Do they speak English, French, Italian, Chinese? None of that matters. They speak emotion. They speak love, they speak feeling, they speak you. They know who you are, they know where you are, and they can connect with you in a way that you can understand. That's the other reason why we write, because it's a way that we are used to communicating. So this is a beautiful way to connect with them. So write your question, start writing some words, start writing some phrases. If things pop into your mind, draw the little picture. For some reason, I was drawn to called to underline that word beach with little waves. That's all of a sudden I just knew that those were waves. I've drawn little arrows. I've made little connections. I underlined the word hat. All you want to do is be able to start to make some connection, even if none of it makes sense. Write it down, close the book, walk away, and then do it again tomorrow and do it again the next day until you start to make some connections. And maybe you'll just get a nice deep feeling in your heart or a sense of knowing, like all of a sudden you just know something. And the reason that I think you can do this is because this whole wide universe is waking up. There are so many of us out there right now. You know, I host this group called the School of Animal Mystics. And right now we've probably got about 60 people in the School of Animal Mystics. And we get together once a week and we practice this. We play with this. We embrace the gifts that extend beyond our five senses. And I know that every single person, if they could get past their own fear, if they could get past their own doubt, if they could start to believe and trust and have faith, that they can make this type of connection with their animal companion. And it's great to start with your animal companion, but don't think it's going to stop there. I've told you guys this before, like Whoopi Goldberg in the movie Ghost. Some days, all of the animals show up. They're just clamoring for attention. They're clamoring to get through to you. They want to talk to somebody. They want to share what they know. They want to support you and love you and hold you and hug you. And yeah, so that's our little lesson for today. It's about belief. And then it's about using our senses, being open to the connection, and then practicing something like automatic writing, practicing something every day to try to get you into the habit and understanding and making connections through what you're writing down on your paper, that you know that your animal companion is getting through to you. And then it'll get stronger and stronger. And we'll talk about that too, about ways that our animals come through once they've got our attention. Once they know they've got our attention, then what are they going to tell us? Okay, that's it for now. Have an amazing day wherever you happen to be. I love you so much. And until the next video, let the animals light your way. Take care.